Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. Good morning to everyone watching here on point. We are here. IRL is the first IRL, true crime IRL. So we're gonna talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's that simple. Different format is back to the big channel. Try to do the show in the small channel over here. Try to come over here and talk about true crime and kick back, relax, a little bit more laid back. Let's see what we got here today. Whatever you want to talk about. It's that simple. Different format is back to the big channel. Try to do the show in the small channel over here. Try to come over here and talk about true crime and kick back, relax, a little bit more laid back. Let's see what we got here today. Just to start the conversation, big shout out to everyone watching. I know I'm not an algorithm. Got 12 people watching. Talk to me in the chat. JLR. We're chilling, relaxing. We're gonna talk about quite a few things. About I don't know. Let's take a look at what's going on with the Idaho BRYAN KOHBERGER case. Just to start, excuse my voice, a little bit under the weather. No gelling, no going crazy today. It's the first live stream IRL. Just see what we do for quite a few hours. Make sure that y'all subscribe, click like, subscribe, share the content. Make sure y'all hit the cash app, TheOnPointFamily. That'll be great. It'll be very, very, very appreciated. Big shout out to those watching. Let's see what we got in the Idaho world. This is what it's called while they're relevant. It's stuck with relevance. Big shout out to Birdie. He said, nobody's questioning this. Should we get into this right away? Oh no, let's see. I mean, it's IRL. We do whatever we want, right?
You love the shit. You don't even know what he's saying. Starting to feel like we rap guys. You got all our music on your crack pod. We finna murder the beat soon as the track drop. Cause we starting to feel like we rap guys. Rappers kill me with they gangsta me talk. Like, hey, be they.
I think the background music was a little bit too high. I'll leave it there. Let's see what he's talking about.
And you could say, well, Bertie, that's just our opinion. What's an expert going to say? There's no way that anybody is capable of telling that many bold-faced lies with a smirk on their face. There's no way that all of these people in the justice system can be in on railroading somebody when it's this big of a headline. There's no way.
So Bertie's talking about railroad. He's talking about BRYAN KOHBERGER getting railroaded. So far within this video, I could agree with him if he's talking about BRYAN KOHBERGER getting railroaded by Idaho State. Let's continue.
That now that everything is released, there's not a line of defense attorneys out the door to get BRYAN KOHBERGER a fair trial or retrial. There's no way that any of this happens unless after a certain point, BRYAN KOHBERGER was looped into it because the people this was tied to or connected to could not become public.
And here we go. Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
I don't know if that's copyright.
And you could say, well, Bertie, that's just our opinion. What's an expert going to say? I brought up Jeffrey Gentry, who's going to be on a stream next Wednesday. And after the stream yesterday, let's take a look at what he said about this latent footprint. So let's all keep in mind, as everybody likes to say to us, we're not professionals. Well, we have a professional right here that says from a pattern comparison standpoint, the shoe impression outside Dylan's room does not align with a Vans outsole. That's huge. Like this guy's probably done more death investigations than whoever did this investigation. That's what I'm saying.
And you know what's crazy? It was crazy that since the very beginning, the conversation of the shoe print outside of Dylan Mortensen's door, everybody was saying that it was a Vans shoe. And we was talking about, well, if it was Vans, Dylan had Vans, allegedly. The girls have Vans, like that's more likely like the girls like to wear Vans. We saw in the shoes that were coming out, few Vans. Some of them we allege blood in the bottom or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot of conversation in the beginning. But for at this moment, the conversation being like, now it doesn't match with being a Vans outsole. Vans footwear typically features small, closely packed diamond patterns. The observed impressions show larger, more widely spaced diamonds, suggesting a different class of footwear, potentially a high-key shoe or boot. Compatible treads patterns can be seen in brands such as Rock and Run. Can you think of a similar brand with a diamond pattern outsole? That's crazy. Continue.
And Vans footwear typically features small, closely packed diamond patterns. The observed impression shows larger, more widely spaced diamonds, suggesting a different class of footwear, potentially a hiking shoe or boot. Comparable tread patterns can be seen in brands such as Rock and Run. Can you think of similar brands with diamond patterned outsoles? Think of how big this is. We have a top expert that came on the stream that really wasn't super interested in the case leading up to this, but was willing to come on and give his unbiased opinion on the crime scene photos. And now we've been texting for a week, and he's like, I cannot stop looking into this. I also have a video from Jeffrey Gentry that
I mean, in my opinion, when you take a look at the title Idaho 4, BRYAN KOHBERGER case, you could find so many things within the YouTube true crime hemisphere. You could find such a true crime drama within content creators, such as like myself and others. You could find good information, bad information. But at the end of the day, though, allegedly it's all for the sake of entertainment. But when you look at that entertainment with a wider scope, open mind, and you look into the details, you go understand off the rip right away. There's something was wrong in the way authorities handle the case. And I think both sides of the fence could agree with that. Big shout out to Birdie. Go on, click like and subscribe to his channel.
It's going to show what a blood pattern analysis would look like with a shoe print.
So I just created multiple impact spatter stains here on the floor. It projected up onto the wall. So this would be a blood pool. It's just a volume of blood that pools up on a surface. So it takes the shape of the surface. This is tile, so it doesn't absorb in at all. You got multiple drip stains around it. So I've already created my spatter on the inside of my shoes here. It's on both shoes. So this would be consistent with a suspect shoes because you see the blood spatter coming back away from the front of the shoe, like as if they were inflicting the injury. So now I'm just gonna step in this blood pool and show you what a pattern transfer looks like. Okay. So
And also, if we're gonna think about it, like to have a bloody shoe print right outside of Dylan Martinson's door, for sure, someone gotta have a good explanation for that. Because you see, you could ask anybody in the true crime world, but like to have a bloody shoe print in front of your door, you must have the answers. Very good ones at that. Very good answers for the police. Especially if they didn't see it right away and they had to blacklight it. If they had to blacklight it, that means that it was tampering with the crime scene. It was some kind of cleaning, if that was the case. Let's continue. Big shout out to Birdie.
I'm gonna just step. So this would be like a suspect, maybe walking away from a scene. So you get multiple footwear impressions walking away from the point of impact. Okay. So this is a great example of impact spatter, blood pools, drip stains, and then pattern transfers. Okay. Again, this is my house, so I don't care what.
And that's another thing. Like when we're gonna talk about DNA and blood transfer, we're talking about whoever committed this crime. If it was multiple individuals, let's say 2, 3, 4, it don't matter the number. Even if it was one person, the blood trail, the footprints, due to that it was a very compromised, very messy scene. But it seemed that it was fair amount of blood for the type of crime scene that it was talked about. DNA, the mixtures of DNAs and whatnot. In my opinion, this type of crime scene, it was way above the pay rate of Moscow PD. And we've been talking about this for a long time. In my opinion, due to the right away, Soon as officers got the type of intelligence that they got from the first, again, this is go back to if this was not plotted by multiple, and we're talking about group overall, this could be 20, 30, 50, 100 people within the plot, moving the parts to make it look like it seemed like, because in my opinion, it was very scripted from the very beginning. It seems like the information they gave to the public, it was very real, like it was like an intent to tell the truth, but at the same time misguided and misinformed. Is a type of keep the whole conversation for those that don't have a good discernment or don't have a great understanding about when a story is try to tell a story, but at the same time try to keep the story from being told. Is, I don't know, it's kind of like, give me 1 second. Make sure I take care of this. And it takes very smart people to try to put it together, but at the same time, it depends how smart the people within that group is to put a script together in the way they play their parts, like any other movie. You could see who's the good actors, bad actors, because the bad actors will tell without telling the story. And for those that will read between the lines, gonna be like, hold on, so you're telling me this, and that. But for what it seems like, it's a little bit opposite of what the story is being told by the officers, the prosecution, even people that it was at the scene, roommates and whatnot. Like the story that they try to put together when it went to court, in my opinion, it failed because the urgency. That's what I wanted to tell people a long time ago. And I'm glad that I found the word, because it's the perfect word to tell the true crime community. That's what happened with the Idaho 4, the urgency, the hurry to put a plot together. That when it got reviewed, after it was put together and was reviewed, they counted it with the time that the confusion was about to give in court. Hopefully, people that watch me on replay will follow what we're putting together. The complicity and look and the complicated of this case was when you put the pace out the tube, it's most likely impossible to put it right back to the 100% of capacity. You could try, you could do it, but that's what it says. When you have the right positions in the Department of Justice, judges, DAs, the right people in law enforcement, it don't matter if you pass bogus information to that judge is gonna do what a bogus judge is gonna do, and is follow suit with the intentions of the state. The judge biasly will cooperate, even if the information that is being presented at the moment looks fishy, and you know you have to ask for a little bit more, but you said fuck it. What you do when you say fuck it before you sign those papers to authorize a warrant to go and get BRYAN KOHBERGER in Pennsylvania with the pretense that he's running away from charges instead of being told that he was taking a break. Because again, the information far as if he's coming back, they needed to go, because again, they have the name BRYAN KOHBERGER. They know where he's studying, everything, where he's located at or whatnot. The first thing they needed to do, it was to make sure with the school if he was coming back, if he was any signal, or if he was coming back or not. Like, what was his status with the school? That needed to be clear right away. In my opinion, the status of BRYAN KOHBERGER in the University of Washington needed to be clear to the police officers and to the judge. Because the judge got to keep the balance, like, hold on, like, is this guy really running away like they saying he's running away? Or this guy is on school vacay to come back? That there, it needed to be made sure for sure. It couldn't be no discussion of that. When we're gonna talk about, I have probable cause in front of me that is opinionated, is really seen that it's not professionally put together. Because in reality, if we're gonna look at it, this paperwork was not put together and certified as professionally done, and this is a bottom line. All the information is here, and this is it. We're going for a death penalty with this guy, and for us to go for a death penalty and get this guy, we have to proceed as such to the point that it's almost to a federal level, that by the time we have this man in cuffs, it's a 100 over 100 of a case for a guilty sentence, which it was, again, a guilty plea. But at the same time, in my opinion, it's not the same. Because one thing, the difference between the state proving that you're guilty versus you saying that you're guilty. In the Idaho 4 BRYAN KOHBERGER case, we're gonna go back to Birdie's video in a second. We got time. The difference is that when the state has all the proof that you did it, 9 times out of 10, the state is not going to give you a deal. The state is going to cook you, especially if the case like the Idaho 4 is as such. I think we could all agree with that. The state going to cook you because it's such a high profile, such a big case, the biggest case in the docket. The state would like to not just satisfy the good work that they do, but also satisfy the families as a fair justice and satisfy with the people in the community as a good message, a fair message, as the government, the Justice Department is doing fair justice for all. And in such a crime like the Idaho 4, the state did not prove that BRYAN KOHBERGER did it. In the Idaho 4 case, BRYAN KOHBERGER admitted that he did it, but without no details at all on record that by law would be recognized as him admitting to this deal. He's proven that he did it, because he's not even on his admission of guilt. He's not giving the state, he's not giving the judge, he's not giving nobody no gets up fuck or whatever he alleged he did. So how can in the eye of God, anyone could say, yeah, this man did it just because he said he did, but he's not adding nothing to the state story for this deal to be legal. The only thing that make this deal, this BRYAN KOHBERGER deal, the only thing that it makes this deal real and legit is because the judge signed on it. That's it. It's no other legal basis to support BRYAN KOHBERGER being in prison right now. Because even him saying that he did it, he don't have no, it's nothing that BRYAN KOHBERGER could tell the state for him to incriminate himself as he committed this crime. And due to that he didn't do it, anything that he could say, it would blow the whole case apart against the state. Like this, it's like, dude, like BRYAN KOHBERGER said this, that he did it, but he said that he did it this way. That he do not match anything that the state had. What are they gonna do? That's why BRYAN could. I'm gonna tell you right now, in my opinion, even the state told BRYAN, listen, you don't have to say nothing. That's it. You just gotta stand up, say that you did it. We do the rest. In my opinion, BRYAN KOHBERGER was in the back of his head like, it does not sound legal, which he probably already knew from the top. It was not legal for him to even be there. And that's when the mentality creep up on you like, yeah, I'm cooked. It don't matter what I do. It don't matter. I haven't said nothing. Imagine if I say anything and I'm cooked. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Amy. We're here in the big channel having an IRL, talking right now about the Idaho 4. We're going to be talking about many topics. I got time. Right now, we're talking about the Idaho 4. I was watching Birdie. You could replay back. I'm about to get a little bit more into that. Talking about Dealers Martins on shoe print. And I was talking about that even if BRYAN KOHBERGER saying that he did it, he didn't give nothing to the state to add on to their case to make the deal valid. The only thing that it makes this deal valid is the judge signing on it. That's it. And in my opinion, is the only way it could get to be ever found that the judge misproceed within his determination to take and accept the state deal. Didn't matter if the defense was okay with it, because they knew if they followed through the whole process, it would be even worse for him to even pick up what is left of the case and try to redeem himself, because it would be more garbage. It would be more court procedure to clean up, to get to that one detail that made everything valid, which is the human sign, the trust of a human to take the right decision when the time is right. That one moment that a human in position of power as a judge, which the only sole reason why they are in that position is because they believe that they are going to take the right decision when the time comes. And we can always say, oh, I was in school, man, doing kiki duty. They so precious. I'm here, brother. Thank you so much. Big shout out to the newborns and the kiki newborns. Big shout out. Welcome home. Welcome home. But Amy Conway said, correct. I agree. I'm a little bit under the weather today. But I had time and I'm here to play true crime. Big shout out to everyone that have clicked like. We're back in the big channel. I might chop it up and throw some clips in the small channel and then link it to the big channel and whatnot. I think that might be what I'm gonna do. I don't know yet. Just because the YouTube regulations and whatnot. So make sure that everything is crispy clean. Thank you for everyone that clicked the like. It's been a while here being in the big channel. But when we need humans to be fair, is one is most needed. And if that human is not fair due to knowledge, due to conscience, due to information provided, and the human as a judge is making a bad judgment, pro, quo, pro the movement, pro Greek life, pro whatever you want to call it, pro favors, pro whatever the reason that I'm a judge anyway, or whatnot. We could give and take 6 or 7. We could think like it could be many reasons for Meghan Marshall to actually sign on those paperwork to validate a warrant against BRYAN KOHBERGER. But in my opinion, none of those reasons were legal enough for her to sign on it, which that's what it got the ball rolling. Hitler sealed the deal. You know, it's like Meghan Marshall started the wreckage. Judge made the bed for what is more convenient. Should we handle this on Leighton? Should we handle this on Ada? As program, it got sent to Judge Hitler, and particularly to Judge Hitler. Judge Hitler was picked and chosen by the Superior Court. No one is going to tell me there is no one in Superior Court with the power to pick and choose Judge Hitler that is not attached to the Greek life. I could bet, in my opinion, again, everybody could say whatever they want to say, but in my personal opinion, okay, which is not much, me as a small channel. And because we say my opinion, Hitler never read and reviewed all the case files from Lane County, and is required part of the job to make a proper decision. You see, I totally agree with you, though. I totally agree with you. I totally do. I don't. It's my opinion that is no way that Judge Hitler could tell me that he studied this case like the grassroots of the case. He cannot tell me that he did. Because even with the narrative, the information required to proceed was polluted, not clear, and it was not concrete to proceed. And it was hidden behind a whole bunch of masquerade, which we was talking about, a whole bunch of legal language masquerade that you could just sit there in court, put words together, and as long as you have the right judge, it just gonna be an easy dunk. It's gonna be a freebie. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people that don't understand that, because they believe like on the life that is programmed. You know, they believe, well, every judge is fair, no judge is corrupt, no judge do no wrongdoing. They're here to help. They get paid to help and be fair and just. But as we all know, with great power comes with great responsibilities and great respect that you must have for yourself and for others. Like you have to understand that you have the power that affect the lives of people around you. That you have some kind of godly power on earth to take decisions in the future of others. You have to be a very special background checked individual to become a judge and take decisions in criminal cases they will affect the life of hundreds of thousands of people. Because we're talking about that we understand that the families get affected. All three, in my opinion, yeah, state pocket. Yeah, of course, the state cut the check. The state of the politics of the state put them in place with a little bit of their own work, you know. And Congress said, no way he did. He was lost many times. Yeah, he sounded very not educated about the case though. And that's something that is undeniably Judge Heeper. He first and foremost, he sounded like he didn't want to be there. He sounded like he didn't want to participate with nothing that was going on here. You know what I mean? Yeah, he talked like DNA was blood. Like, even if he understood the intricacies of DNA for the public, which that's all what he needed to do. He just needed to make himself look as such that it will be in favor of his final decision. So, these people are not dumb. These people are not slow. Like we're talking about, this is very clever, very sophisticated type of people. When when they put the lingo and the language in court and they do the legal dance mutual, in a way, not just the judge, the state, but the defense, that legal lingo is understood by them and also understood by those that understand the basics of was legal, was not legal, or was right from wrong, was common sense or not, most likely by the book of law. If you know the basics of what is called the book of law, 9 times out of 10, when you sit in that courtroom, you could understand the manifestation of the presentation that they bring into the table to have their theater, their court theater, to make everything legal and authentic. But again, I totally agree with Amy Conway. It's very unethical. Like, again, to everything to come out, like, it takes investigation. And again, not now, due to that, they know that everything that they put together now is sealed. Now, to open that Pandora box, it has to be a probable cause for investigation. Uh, I'm happy I'm back to the big channel. Amy Conway say he stated on record things he not have from Layton County. He called himself say, and you see though, he didn't made it clear by sentencing. He didn't made it clear that he went through everything. So yeah, I totally agree with that though. The restitution here, and as many were discussed in the things he said as the judge on her. Yes, it felt like They just wanted to take his canteen. Like, listen, we're gonna take the ramen noodles from this guy forever. Listen, if he don't wanna eat chow mein that day, if he don't wanna eat whatever we give him, some spaghetti and meatballs, just a little slap meat with some rice. If he don't even want to eat his orange of his cake, I don't know what to tell you. You know, the judge attitude was terrible. It was not a good attitude at all whatsoever. He kind of said BK sitting there innocent by law, and Hitler say, should leave your DNA in the crime scene. I lost my shit. Me too. Me too. I couldn't believe. I mean, think about it, just the detail of the sheath. Just think about that for a second, though. Just the details of the sheath are buck wild. There's no picture or video that we could see the sheath wherever was recuperated wherever the sheath was located at this day today. I have not seen and I have not heard no one saying like, oh yeah, I saw a picture, I saw video. Yeah, the sheath was right there. Yeah, they seen it though. Yeah, the sheath, yeah, the sheath was right there, exactly where Brett Payne said that it was. He did not place it there. I don't know. Then in the documents, wherever they said that they got the DNA from, if the button sheet, which if the same place that they recognized on paperwork that he was preserved for fingerprints. I lost my shit. Wait. When I heard like, oh, so but you say you got the DNA from the button of the sheath, but then in this paper said that the button of the sheath was preserved for fingerprints. So, so the whoever told a lie forgot that it was on paper. And then it's me, right? Because I'm over here exaggerating shit. Jrod Point don't know what he talking about. Right. Let's continue. Let's watch what Birdie to finish that Birdie video. It's a big shout out to Birdie. Give him a little shout out to the shit. Birdie the one no smoke. Yeah. Listen, big shout out to you, bro. True crime smoke. True crime smoke. I'm kidding.
Kind of a mess I make here. I'm going to blue star this later after I clean it up, just to show that even after cleanup, you can still see blood stains. So I'm still walking through here, and you can see as I walk away, there's less and less blood volume with each additional step. So the blood volume was picked up there, And then it just transferred all the way across. So with every single step, you should have less and less blood on the suspect's shoes. So that means that this person is not bleeding. This is from them stepping in that blood source there.
And for each blood pattern, you see a trail in the mixture of whose blood, because again, is for disease. So with those shoe prints, that trail of blood, trace DNA, you could tell forensically where the blood spatter started. If he started from the third floor, it went to the second floor, and what was the movement within the house. Like the blood would tell you what type of killing dance they had going on in that party. Because we see blood stains in the living room all the way down going towards the stairs, like someone got hit with a sharp object, and the splatter from the living room fell all the way down the stairs wall going towards the first floor, which over here we've been talking about, because a great point. Let's make sense. Yes. That we was talking about our opinion of Ethan being attacked in the living room, because you have to take down the bigger threat first, which is gonna make him look like the target. Which again, I heard the comments of content creators. I heard the comments of people. I listen. I'm a true crime content creator on YouTube. I hear everything. I heard the people saying that Ethan was the target because the fight and whatnot. Well, I tell ya, foot on the ground. Like Santa's mom told me what Santa told her on the phone, everything was fine. It was a scuffle. It was little. That's what boys do. It was nothing outside of that. No major repercussions was expected. Regular shit. Allege. But if you're gonna go to a crime scene knowingly, purposely, you going into that residence knowing that you want to kill some females, but is one male that will put up a fight. The first thing that you do when you enter that residence, you take down the bigger threat, which in this case will be Ethan, which you would make it look like Ethan being the target. Which also hits the forensics of the motive, of the real reason of why the killing, or who was the real target, not the intended target, the real target. Because you could intend to kill one person but not do it and then kill someone else. So we're talking about the real target. Because again, if you know that for you to get to the third floor, you have to pass the second floor. And if that male say like, yo, hold on, what you doing? and he's the only person that you know in the house that will put resistance to what you are there for, you're gonna take down the male first. Probably his companion, stuffing up the rooms, come back and then go upstairs. But in my opinion, it didn't happen like that. In my opinion, I have very well specified here for many years. Thank you, Mikan. We're very so much appreciated. When Kaylee and Maddie got to the house, I believe that they got confronted when they got to the house right away. I think that when they got to the house, due to that it was allegedly it was people already there, we could only expect that while Kaylee and Maddie was at the grub truck getting their food, as well as Ethan and Santa with their friends to then go back to the house. Because this is another thing. They don't want to say that Ethan and Santa was at the grub truck because they don't want to get their friends involved. Again, remember, we're trying to protect the witnesses of what really happened, while also protecting the witnesses of what we saying that happened. Is so here we have Kaylee and Maddie going to the house. The time that Kaylee and Maddie spend at the grub truck, it give, in my opinion, it give in this case Jack the Cook and whoever else time, in my opinion, time to get to the house way before he gets there with whoever he getting there. This is why the whole reason of John Jack Showalter walking with them to keep tabs of where they at. That's why he was so in the phone sometimes. Checking up his phone, texts and text messages and stuff like that. In my opinion, that's the whole reason why the girls left him behind, because they knew that he was only there to keep tabs of where they were. Again, the stalker that Kaylee always said that she had, in my opinion. Because in a way, John Jack Showalter was walking with in my opinion, looked like pretty stocky. It didn't look like they wanted to walk with you. And the conclusion assert my opinion because they left you behind. Because if they were walking with you, they would have left with you. But you made it all look like you walk with them. Oh yeah, I'm walking with them. I'm chaperoning and making sure they get home safe. Wink, wink. But the vibe is so wrong that the girls left them behind. Of course, everything has a reason in life, right? Especially when they say, Kaylee was very true crime smart, right? Let's see. I agree. People already there. Ethan never got jumped yet by a group beating him over first. Uh-huh. I'm thinking they use Murphy to try to get outside and separate them. Just in my guess. You see, Amy, I'll tell you right now. We get back to Birdie in a second. There was an audio I heard a long time ago. I heard Jack D say, Jake, don't hurt Murphy with Jake. I don't know. There was a few. You see, and I'm glad that I read that before I give you my opinion. After brother Jack S. Jack S. Took out on Kiely, in my opinion, live. Yeah, a lot of people was lying in this case though. Um, you see, something that I could believe is the love you too, sister. Love you too. You see, in my true crime opinion, Murphy was not at the house when it happened. In my opinion. In my opinion, he was not. In my opinion, one of the boys took Murphy back to Jack's house and keep him in company. Nah, as simple as bringing back to Jack Decole's house. He's familiar. He's familiar with Jack's apartment. It will keep him calm. It will keep him feeling right at home, so that way he wouldn't be barking. Because the bark, if you put the whole purpose of the reason of Murphy not being at the house is so Murphy don't bark. The whole thing of everything is getting Murphy nice and kindly. 9 times out of 10, this is why I was telling people, and I don't know if you remember. Yes, and then when he returned and there's no one to care for him, he started walling out and barking because now no one is attending him. They put him in the room by himself, lock the door behind. So that's why he walling out. Because when they brought him back, in my opinion, they locked him in the room on Kaylee's room. He left him there. Of course he's gonna bark. Especially to call Kaylee's attention, let him know, like, hey mom, I'm home. You know what I mean? Where's mom? Um, it makes sense. He was probably scared. He was young. Yeah, he a puppy. But the whole point here that a lot of people don't know how close Jack Decor apartment through the backyard is from 1122 Queens Road. It's a short walk. You just have to come out his back door, walk the side yard around the fence, and you right there. You right there. You are like 50 feet. 50 80 feet. It's not 100 feet. No, I don't believe it's 100 feet. But it's like a 50, 80, 80, 90. I don't think 100, but it's around that mark. 80, 90 feet from the back door. It's right there. It's such a short walk. So before you're gonna do anything, because think about it, if Kiely and Maddie are at the grub truck, who's watching Murphy? And this is something that no one wants to talk about. I have never got that. I have never understood why. I never understood why no one was talking about. So if Kiely and Maddie are in the grub truck and Jack Decor was at the corner club, who was caring for Murphy? Dylan, Bethany. And if Dylan and Bethany was taking care of Murphy, did Dylan and Bethany took the dog to the back door? Like the the cell phone records could tell you if they went to Jack Decor's house or whatnot at some point, or because the only thing that I could think of is like two options, right? But one make more sense than the other. Let me Conway say, to me, that's telling who else cared to do well with the dog. Only exactly, because only he would have know the dog would have barked in certain points. Jack Decor is the one that knows that the door is gonna get barky as soon as it's certain moments. You know what I'm saying? That's yeah. Too young, in my opinion, to let him run around them. Yes. That's why the dog was not found the dog was not calling by no one to get picked up by the cops or get picked up by authorities or whatnot. Because the dog was never outside the house, like by himself type of. The end say, oh, so she I let Murphy out. But you see, that's 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 my thing though. Um, the end, I made it. She let Murphy out. My opinion story. Money was like, yes. Let me lift this up. I agree with you. Everything was a story. Everything was a story. Like the forensics could tell. Like first and foremost, the forensics would tell you where the dog was. Because they're trying to tell the people that the dog was sitting at Kaylee's room by himself, sitting still. Like, what? With the door open? What are you talking about? Is you serious? Who you trying to lie to? That a dog is gonna sit still and not move from a room if you have the door open. What are you talking about? Yeah, alive for a lifetime. Yeah, for a timeline. Because again, if the door was open, if the door was open that puppy would be all over the crime scene. And that puppy, soon as officers see the dog in with blood, they automatically, by training, understand that that dog needs some forensics to be done on him. We need to know what was the participation of the dog on the crime scene. Is as friendly or as aggressive. Like, we need to know what happened here. So to tell the whole story, you have to investigate the whole case accordingly. So if you enter to a residence, the first and foremost, you cannot tell no one. Like, no one is gonna believe you that a dog it was sitting by himself with a door open. That's first. Second, if it's any type of blood in the puppy, when the authorities got there, they understand that it's some forensics that it needs to be done to him. So you don't take this dog to a pound, because you automatically you need to track down the reasons of that dog being there. You ask Dylan Mortensen that she was there. Bethany Funky that she was there. You ask these people, who's this dog? Oh, it's one of the victims. Okay, if the dog seems clean, they don't have no type of participation on the with the crime scene. 9 times out of 10, officers gonna reach to the family members of the victim, not even boyfriend or nothing, or if she or it was the boyfriend's dog too. Guess what? You have now to dispute that in court with the family members of the victims, because at this point the dog don't belong. Is proof as a matter of a fact that this dog belonged to the deceased. To us, to authorities, we cannot let this dog go to you, because you have to show me proof of purchase. You have to show me proof of ownership. Like, is the paperwork on the shots on the vet is under your name or whatnot. Into that puppy belongs to Kiely. So automatically the cops have to do due diligence to reach out to her family members to make that dog go to the righteous owners. Let me come. We said for they fuck the scenes and forensic story. Yes. Yes, in my opinion, they did hit the full story, the full scope of the story within the lie. They might know the full scope of the story. That's the whole reason why they knew how to hide it. Telling to how taken preparing with all shelter, knowledge, proof. Yes, it's a it's sort of a tactic of hit the evidence and get the evidence out the way of the track of the proper chain of custody. They violated proper chain of custody where item that it was owned by the deceased, a living being, a living dog that belongs to these deceased. If the dog don't have no type of signals that would indicate that this dog took part of the crime scene whatsoever, passively or aggressively, it has to be discovered through forensics. Again, because you're saying the door was open. So you telling the story that this pup was all over the crime scene. So this dog, it needed to accordingly be taken to forensic lab to be studied and take samples. That did not occur. They don't specify if the dog would have signs of blood on him. Is nothing, no information about the dog. They only say they grabbed the dog, took it to the pound. And then they say they grabbed the dog from the pound and took it to Jack the Cool. We know kind of like explanation like, oh, the door, and you said the door was open. This is why far as Murphy goes. When Kaylee and Maddie get to the house, I believe that they were received by someone. I believe that Murphy was either within the same location at the house, but within the room with people, in this case, Dylan and Bethany, but is no indication within their conversation on text of them having possession of Murphy. Because in my understanding right now, within the text between Dylan and Bethany, is no mention of them having Murphy, is no mention of Murphy. That only tells me, in my opinion, that Jack took the dog and brought him to his house and left him with company there, so he don't bark, with company that already knows the dog, so the dog be cool and he's entertained while everything is going on back in the house. Someone had to have Murphy. This is details that are hidden within the Idaho for BRYAN KOHBERGER case. Someone was babysitting, it was doggy sitting Murphy while Kaylee and Maddie was at the grub truck. And if Jack DeCole was babysitting Murphy, because Murphy, he was about to not see Murphy after that for a long time. But instead of him spending time with Murphy, he was at the corner club. So he must have left Murphy with someone that Murphy's cool with at his apartment. So when Kaylee and Maddie leave to the grub truck, he goes to get ready to go to the house and confront Kaylee. This is my opinion, with the information available. Which is normal and regular for him going upstairs and talk to Kaylee and whatnot, hang out upstairs. He's not out of the norm to see Jack Decor pulling up, getting inside through the back door and going upstairs. It's regular shit. Even though Dylan Mortensen is saying, oh, we were all in the living room dancing. So that means her and the victims and probably other people. She didn't specify who was those all at the living room. She go upstairs and then yells, come back down and whatnot. Story don't make sense. Which is no explanation to that story by the state. And it's no shocker to no one. But he could go upstairs, no problem, with whoever else, which again is my other opinion. We're not saying that this is true, but it is within my opinion in true crime. That Maddie's boyfriend could have a participation in all this. Because no one can tell me that someone had to know. And they all brothers in secret. Someone had to know. So you as Jack the Code, you're not gonna tell me that whatever as big as the reason why you feel that you have to do this, no one is gonna tell me that it's this big secret. If this big secret, there is enough reason to go and try to delete Kiely. It's big enough reason that includes Maddie. And due to that, you know that you might need some help to pull this off. You tell Maddie's boyfriend the big secret because you probably know that he's gonna feel in the same way you feel about it, and that now you have more help and someone with the reason and probably the guts because the anger and the frustration to actually follow through with it due to anger and due to the what it is ultimate for them. So it's within my opinion the Kiely and Maddie's boyfriend and ex-boyfriend took part in this killing. Is the opinion that everyone hates. And how you gonna hate an opinion that is so educated within the information out there? This is what I'm saying right now. It makes more sense than any story that you could talk about BRYAN KOHBERGER. It makes no sense. And we can always say, in my opinion, brother, the killer can't tell on each other. That to me makes sense. That's touche. Actually, let me put it back there. They can't tell on each other. No one in the Greek life will tell on each other if you're an active member. I don't even think that a non-active member that don't have big enough reasons will tell on them anything because they know the repercussions that comes with that. So why not tell the reason why I'm going to do this to the other side of the problem? He don't know. And he's fucked up enough that, well, and I think we could pull this off. And then you go through your 50-50s and see you possibilities and whatnot. And then you go like, well, if it's meant to be, it goes this way. If it's not meant to be, it goes the other way, and we all fucked. In my opinion, Murphy was not at the house. Murphy was at Jack the Core's house. And Murphy came back after everything was done. In my opinion, Jack Decor went upstairs with Mighty's boyfriend, confront both of them, whatever the big secret that you know they're gonna get you for, that young Jack Walker told her about. The young Jack Walker said, you know they are going to get you. Why people don't make these words as relevant as all. Young Jack Walker said on camera that we could all hear, you know they're gonna get you for that. Right after that, they end up dead. And why that footage don't have no weight in this case at all. No one went to John Jack Walker and asked him like, yo, what was that secret that you heard about that you knew they were about to get got? And you know, if you don't tell me, I'm gonna have to put you under arrest, bro. Because for a fact, we know that you know. For a fact, whatever was told to Adam by Kiely, not Maddie, because everything is backwards in this story. Content creators and legacy media put the names to the wrong voice, even to the wrong mouth. Because when one speaking, the other lips are moving. Is come on, man. Stop trying to play with people's mental. Okay. Jack did, in my opinion, no alibi by law, not clear, but he was never cleared. He didn't have an alibi. This is already on the out. Well, we've been telling them the people in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. Story has not changed. Doesn't change because it is what it is. Jack D didn't have no alibi. The alibi that he had, it was not useful in court. The cops knew this. This is why he was getting investigated. This is why he was the number one suspect. The only thing that stopped the investigation against Jack Decor was the name BRYAN KOHBERGER was brought up to the table as here, fetch. Finally, we got someone else. This is what we're going to do. You're going to stop the investigation against Jack Decor. We didn't finalize that investigation because there's no proof out there that investigation was ever finalized with results positive or negative. They literally stopped investigating Jack Decor to go after BRYAN KOHBERGER. Again, within our opinion, on the fabrication. The fabrication was because they needed to do something because the credibility and the honor of the whole Greek life program, it was about to go to shambles. It was a whole program failure, and they couldn't have that. Too much money under the Greek program. That's a no-no. They wouldn't let it come to the light. Again, it's like I've been telling you, Amy. The lie, the truth has to be forced for the lie to be exposed. I repeat, the truth have to be forced for the lie come to the light. But again, it have to be a probable cause for investigation on the higher levels as me handling an investigation and procedure on a criminal case. It has to be a probable cause. We have the probable cause. It's all over this case. But then we're gonna expect the Greek life investigating the Greek life. There has to be some federal outsiders that they could come to Idaho and clean and fix this problem or unfix this problem to undo and problem solve the situation that they created. It has to be an outside federal source because the information is all there. It just has to be someone that literally goes there and look to it and see like, oh my God, they never finished investigating this guy. And just with the little bit that we got, look at all these red flags. And they stop investigating this guy with all these red flags and his friends to go after someone that don't have no connection, and they steal some way somehow for this man, force this man to say I did it because he's like, well, what the fuck you want me to tell you? It don't matter what I say or what I do. It just is it. Like they violated all my rights. The only thing that I was requesting, it was a frank hearing to make sure that as a judge, that the police and the prosecution did due diligence, and this is by the book, and the FBI. If it's unethical, it doesn't come through. If it's not law, but it's unethical, and you cut corners, I'm not going to let it slide because it's already unethical within your books. So why you going to do something that is unethical and you advising your books to not do? You expect me as a judge to be cool with that? And just because it's nothing under the law that stop you from doing that. But again, in your book of ethics, you tell you group or your agency that that's a must not do. I'm not going to rule in favor of that as a judge. I'm not going to rule in favor of that because then automatically I, as a judge, become unethical under your own rules and regulations. I, as a judge, if I rule in favor of this evidence, then now I'm violating ethics. I'm a judge. I cannot sit here and violate ethics. I cannot, even though if it's not illegal for you to do it, but that necessarily means that you should do it. Because if you understood that the only way you have any chance to proceed with this case was that means that you didn't have a case at all from the first place. But they are so desperate to throw spaghetti on the wall, knowing that it don't matter if the spaghetti don't stick in the wall. The judge, they'll see the spaghetti, will approve it, is a go. And we can always say, brother Hebrew said in court, oh, I'm gonna have to grant them a frank. A frank was said to make you think he's doing the job wrong. You see, he denied the Frank, but he heard the argument. That's not a Frank hearing. That's not a Frank hearing. You denied it on paper. On paper. But you said there in her a proffer. And due to the proffer that you heard, no one is gonna hear or see probably ever. And that's your intentions, because your intentions are to bury everything that is being said on the seal for no one to witness how much of a fuck up of a judge he is, in my opinion. But if you ask me if any other judge heard the proffer, he would have granted the Frank hearing. I believe that everything that he was said on that proffer was granting a Frank hearing in full with the whole scope. Open the books. If this man is here, because the probable cause is solid, you gotta let me know what was the reason for Megan Marshall. Now y'all need to show me what you show Megan Marshall, because that's how everything started. A good judge would tell you, I want to see what Megan Marshall saw that day to grant you that warrant that started it all. But you know how they went around that? They went around that with the secret grand indictment. And due to that secret indictment, it was on the federal level. That now it's on secrecy. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now we go hide it. What you expect? Think we gonna leave it out there for you to see? Nah. We knew that this is what we're telling you, that probable cause is significant. Is we don't care about it right now. You know why? Because we want to make a bigger lie on the secret grand jury. A judge that is friendly to us, or we call him, we made him come back from vacation. And Bill Thompson at the state has full control of the process with no backlash. And the jurors are directed by the state and the court. And if both are in Tingo and Tango, well, they say anybody could indict a sandwich. I guess that's from where that come from, in my belief. But yeah, that was a good disclose, a good video from Birdie. I mean, it's good. It's good to Birdie now. It's looking into it more into the, the BRYAN KOHBERGER is innocent type of, like, I support. True crime is true crime. Content is content. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Big shout out to Birdie. Wish him the best. He put the good work. Hold on, let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got the Goncalves 3 days ago. Anyway, did you heard anything about the JLR stuff? Man, that topic is on fire. Joel said, was Kiely Goncalves' face brutally destroyed or not? I mean, they say how brutal it was. What are they saying? Any opposite? Yeah, no, I heard a whole bunch of new JLR stuff. Listen, nobody wanna hear my opinion. 'Cause I tell you right now, I do not believe a thing. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. We could talk about that too, though. Just say I heard Lana shut down. What? Lana shut down a week from Talk JLR. I don't know. A lot of content creators are afraid to talk about that. Not me. All right. Steve Goncalves and Aliga react to Idaho law change. What you say about Lana? Can you articulate that? You say I heard Lana shut down what? A work from Talk. A ranch. Shut down a ranch. You heard that Lana shut down a range from talking about JLR. Hold on, man. Espérate, chica. Espérate. I heard Lana shut down a ranch. You said a ranch, a mod? Her channel? Someone said that in chat. Oh, the YouTube shut down Lana's channel. YouTube shut down the channel for a week because JLR. Damn. So JLR is going hard on the paint, huh? Listen, but we could talk about JLR though. Let me see what we got here. Oh my God, commercials. Why? Shush. Oh my God. Commercials. Why is it what listen? Oh, because Lana was talking about JLR. Uh, that's crazy. Oh no. Hold on, let's see what we got here though.
Governor called you personally, right? What did he say?
He just said, he was really happy to be able to start enacting this change. And, it was long overdue, not personally for this case, but just for victims' rights in general in Idaho and, other states.
I think it has ramifications for other states, particularly, I mean, unfortunately to say this because
Hold on. Is a change of a law or something? What is it? Is a change of a law? Because they're not saying nothing.
Governor called you personally, right? What did he say?
He just said, he was really happy to be able to start enacting this change. And, it was long overdue, not personally for this case, but just for victims' rights in general in Idaho and, other states.
Why they didn't start with the details of the law that they say they passed and stuff? Hey, I heard they passing the law and da 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 da. The governor called you, but it's like missing details.
I think it has ramifications for other states, particularly, I mean, unfortunately to say this because of the high profile nature of this. I think this is a wake up call. Steve, just to be clear, what exactly does this law limit from the public record? How does it work?
As I understand,
Oh, so this is what a law about public records to not show deceased bodies and whatnot. Okay, but they trying to hide. Remember, they say the sheath was under Maddie, under a comforter. But then they try to say that the blood is part of the body. So with that argument, are they trying to hide where it could be the sheath shown if the sheath was there? Oh, you can't see the sheath because I mean, you can't see the blood, you can't see the bodies, you can't see, but the sheath is there. You have to trust us. Or you're gonna show a picture blurring everything, or not showing everything else, but showing where the sheath was. In my opinion, they're trying to hide the location of the sheath, which is none, with all this mumbo jumbo.
and this is mainly Olivia's bill that she's been working on, and I've been on the sideline for this one. But it protects crime scene, the gory, the body. It protects that. I mean, it basically says it's still going to be used in a court of law.
Yeah, okay, but the gore of the crime scene, it tells the story. And yeah, it's a very touchy topic, but at the same time, it's like, don't you want to give clarity to the people of what happened here and tell the story the right way? For people to understand what you went through? Because you see, some people cannot relate with whatever story. Some people cannot relate just you telling the story. I don't care if you tell me that you are brave when you show me that you're weak. Oh, Jrod, would you show the pictures? Or if something happened to your daughter and she died, passed away, and the pictures are bad, will you show the pictures? Well, if that ever happened, we'll have to get there. But in my opinion, I wouldn't have a problem. Because that'll tell the story of what happened. And guess what? The world, in my opinion, should know how bad it was. And even though if a conservative side of true crime don't give no one the right to see those pictures, which I could understand also, but you cannot hide the information of the case as how they doing right now. And not because then they use this to control the public records. Cause I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Whatever pictures of body that you don't want to show, okay, that's fine. Listen, do you don't want to show nothing? No problem. My point of contention is the far as documents of full details of what happened here cannot be sealed. These cannot be controlled like that. It has to be someone with a higher level of understanding of legal procedures to actually put a stop to it and be like, well, we understand the privacy that you require, but then now we got to tell you the privacy that you could get. It's two different things. Is the privacy that you looking for, but then that don't mean that necessarily that's the privacy that you deserve. It don't matter how you feel about it at the end of the day. Taxpayer money need to know. Taxpayer money needs to know what's going on with the criminal investigations and with the court procedures. That's a most. They destroy the forensic story, which is yes. They muted the footage of the next door camera so they don't hear the full story of all. They consider the story of the Idaho Fall. Legal loopholes in Idaho. Yes. You see, it goes back to a good judge. A good judge knows when the state is using dirty legal loopholes. The judge should recognize for the type of case that is, the dirty legal loopholes are unnecessary when you have a case. So you don't have to force an angle that might give you a benefit, might not give you none, but you exploring a legal loophole that is dirty, should be illegal. And the only person that could validate that loophole is me, the judge. So then now you put me in a predicament for me to put my level of morals to attention. Tampering is illegal, and I don't get how they get away with it. It's unreal. Oh, he has not a good judge. Did not they? Yeah, they violated his rights. It was really not a legit, proper investigation of this. What it seems like. A good Christians don't have to be out there telling everybody, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. You see my hat? I'm a Christian. Believe everything that I tell you because I'm a Christian.
all that. It's just not something that gets released to the general public. Freedom of Information Act. There's certain things that are just not evidence, and that's kind of what we're taking. I mean, we didn't even have a court case. It was a plea, so we see that this is something that is a common courtesy for a family.
And as you could tell, it goes all the way up to the government office, to the governor's office. That's how high the cookie crumble. All the way to the governor's office. That's how high this cover up is, in my opinion. The governor is calling like, hey, we passed this law for you. Thank you for your help. I'll tell you what, the Idaho 4 case disgusts me though. It does disgust me. It's just crazy. Amy, did you hear about the Charlie Kirk case? The bullet don't match. The bullet don't match. The bullet don't match the rifle. I mean, it needs a fragment for what is being told, for what is being said. It's not a full bullet. It's not a full bullet. It's a fragment. And I told you ballistics. It goes back to ballistics. I told ya he would. Charlie Kirk was not shot. We could call it poke. We could call it stab in the neck by something that it looked scorpion-like. That activated, that thing went around his shirt from the right side, went around his shirt, from under his shirt, using his own t-shirt for concealment. It stretched with such a fast light speed and force that activated, poked him in the neck, retrieved back, and then you hear the shot on the speakers. Is it me? And then they want everybody to believe, oh yeah, Charlie Kirk was shot. Day one, we knew he was not shot. I seen it with my own eyes when they would keep replaying every time when they were replaying he was getting shot. In YouTube, you could find that on edit. I played it on this channel. We sit down and played it over and over and over, slow motion, pause it over and over. If we end up with the same conclusion, that thing was right here. And you could see it on his t-shirt. You could see under his t-shirt, yeah, day one, we call it. Day one, we called it Amy. Me and you, we did. Yes, we did. We called it. But you could see it on you could see the thing. Before we get there, let's listen to Lionel real quick. Let's listen to Lionel. This is Explosive.
My friends, this is big news. I don't want to say breaking news. I don't even know what the hell breaking news means. But let me tell you something right off the bat. You know, and I know that we haven't bought any of the story regarding Tyler Robinson. Nothing. But this is huge. Something just happened in this case that changes everything. And if you're paying attention, I mean, really, really super duper paying attention, you will understand exactly and immediately why this is not just another courtroom development, not just another filing, not some extraneous bit of
Lionel, for those that don't know, Lionel, it was a prosecutor.
sub judice nonsense. That's just another technicality buried in legal juridical language. This is the kind of detail that cracks a case wide open. That, I say it to you, bespeaks and yells reasonable doubt. Remember, nobody has to prove Tyler Robinson is innocent. They've just got to present a reasonable doubt. A reasonable doubt as to whether the state of Utah can prove beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt and with a degree of moral certainty that all of the elements of murder can be proved.
Why? Why when the video was getting so good? Get so delicioso. Pause, no, they didn't know that. Big shout out to Lionel. In the way he present the information is amazing. Big shout out to Lionel.
A new defense filing, the bullet that ostensibly killed Charlie is now right now, according to a new defense filing, the bullet that ostensibly killed Charlie Kirk may not match the rifle prosecutors say was used by Tyler Robinson. Let that
That's the prosecutor saying that.
beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt and with a degree of moral certainty that all of the elements of murder can be proved. Because now, right now, according to a new defense filing, the bullet that ostensibly killed Charlie Kirk may not match the rifle prosecutors say was used by Tyler Robinson. Let that sit for a second. I don't care what you say. And they're going to qualify it. Oh, they're going to, well, that doesn't mean that it was ruled out. No, you have to affirmatively prove that. This is the biggest piece of not guilty there is. This is reasonable doubt. What are we talking about after? If I can't prove, if you can't prove, if they can't prove that this 30-06 granddaddy shooting iron was the one responsible for the dispatch of Charlie, that's it. What are we talking about? What?
And also, if they don't have no ballistic residue on Tyler Robinson, if they don't have ballistic gunpowder, it had. It's a sham. It's a. We're talking about high levels of government agencies, government individuals in places of power are playing dirty games, dangerous dirty games. We are nation. Then meanwhile, you could see that they really give no fucks to do this type of shit and let us know what they literally are doing and they still in their mind is like, so what? Fuck it. Who the fuck is gonna do anything about it? Who is going to do anything about it when the government is supporting our fuckery? The government is supporting the narrative. The government don't want anything outside of what is being put out there right now. The government gives no fucks. The government didn't even want an outside investigation about this to see if he was any outside. But you see, recognizing that if he was any individual and or agency from other nations that could be involved with the murder assassination of Charlie Kirk, with that simple investigation, it would prove if it was any outside source or agency of other nation involved with this assassination. It would prove there was no outside source that did this. That would prove at the same time that that source of assassination was right here within us. That would open a whole can of worms. That would open a dual investigation. That meanwhile they try to proceed against Tyler Robinson. We're gonna have a major agency of intelligence of the government of the United States of America investigating the same case at the same time, way above the pay rate of the FBI to a military level. Oh, they would have found out. They would have found the whole TP USA plot to kill him, in my opinion. I'm not saying these people did it or ERIKA KIRK had anything to do with it, but it's somewhere around that. Somewhere around that. Not saying they did it, but the only people could investigate that don't want to investigate that. You know what I'm saying? So it's obviously something there. Big shout out to Sifa. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Sifa says stopping by to show support and say hi. Thank you for Sifa. Very so much appreciated. Thank you for passing by. Thank you for showing support. Please make sure everybody goes and subscribe to Sifa and his channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Very so much appreciated, Sifa. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like right now, what Lionel is saying is very, very big, very, very important. Because we talking about when the FBI gets involved, the FBI will not tell you in which part as FBI they were involved. They are not going to tell you, oh yeah, we directed this, we directed that at the hospital. We spoke with the doctors, or we spoke with this, or we did this, we did that. Because he was in the hospital, it was a whole sham. It was a lot of secrecy. Only certain particular people could have been there. The narrative, the information was put under pressure. the details all being put away, and they want to seal them. Sifa say, I hope you and your family are doing well, hermano. Yes, doing great, Sifa. Doing amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for asking, and we wish you nothing but the best, and also the same for you and your family, brother. Saludos, amigo. Espero que todo esté bien. Big shout outs to you, though. Doctors say, strong neck, cracker shit. Yes, yes. Oh, yeah, the neck, it was so strong. The, the whole narrative was put in place as in a script. In the same way, is multiple people behind the cover up of the Idaho Fall BRYAN KOHBERGER cases, multiple people behind the cover up of the Charlie Kirk assassination, and there's a lot of people in high places of power. Is a lot of people in high places of power to have there's such an amount of people like the FBI Cash Patel having not just silent but interrupting any type of intent of an outside investigation. And in my opinion, if the FBI don't have nothing to do with the investigation because it's not their case, how can the FBI stop any investigation from no one else of a case that don't belong to them and belongs to the state? How can the FBI have any sense of any authority for Cash Patel say like, oh, no, you're not going to investigate this? What you mean? What you covering? What favors y'all covering? Favors from who y'all covering? Because at this day to day, it's easy for us to say without no problem that due to what we've seen right now with the information out there, due to the information that they provided themselves, we could say that this could be an easy plot to kill Charlie Kirk within. And it could only happen, it could not happen without the help of TPUSA and staff. Is my educated opinion at this day today that Charlie Kirk died due to the collaboration and assistance of his own security team and staff. In my opinion, the security team needed to know what was about to happen for them to be able to conceal the device on Charlie Kirk. Could that mean at some point the device that it was placed on Charlie Kirk's body was taken off from him, which they take in the murder weapon? Because for people that don't understand this case, in the Charlie Kirk case, the murder weapon was put on Charlie Kirk. The murder device was put on Charlie Kirk as a sound device, a modern day sound device. And everybody said that it was new. Even it was a new microphone operator. That at last minute they put this device on Charlie, and I bet you that device didn't feel comfortable on Charlie, because you could see the device right here poking out, and it stretched the t-shirt from right under the t-shirt, hit him with such a force and speed, and retract right back right under the t-shirt. And they swear and they thought that no one would have filmed that. They thought that all footage of that would have got blacked out. That's the only thing that I could think of. They thought that YouTube and other platforms would have blacked out exactly what happened, when it happened, and how it happened to Charlie Kirk. That's where they fucked up. Because it's not just me, but it's millions upon millions of people that witnessed the death of Charlie Kirk. And at this day today, they keep replaying and watching the video over and over and over, like myself, and I see the same thing clearer and clearer every time I play it. What he killed Charlie Kirk was on his body, was placed on him. It was no explosive mic. It seems that it was a sound device that it was put on him. So let's say a special mic that I believe that's what it was put on his head. Like, oh yeah, this is modern days mic, you know what I'm saying? You put it right under the shirt, and you know, you don't have to sing with, you know, oh, this sound is gonna be, this sound is particularly for the film. Yeah, you have the microphone, okay, but this sound, this microphone, this particular microphone is for the film. It's for the sound of the film, for the editing and stuff like that. They could put excuses like that and put something that is attached, strapped to your back, and it's right here. You put the teacher right on top. In my opinion, Charlie Kirk Security and TP USA, in the highs of the tippity top of TP USA, and unfortunately, mine include ERIKA Kirk. I'm not saying they killed Charlie. I'm not saying, they had to know something. Because there's no way that you're going to allow this one total stranger to put this pack on Charlie Kirk's back, put this mic with a brand new microphone guy, and you did not know. Whatever poke and stab Charlie Kirk in the neck, in the only way that is gonna conceal Charlie Kirk's blood, if it's as is stretching, is uncovering himself, or uncovering this the the sharp object that is about to get introduced to him, hit him with it, and as he's coming back, he's hiding himself, so that way it wouldn't be a splatter of blood on his teacher as he comes back right away. And also between the impact and retract and Charlie falling, we couldn't see if it was blood in the area. But his security team was on top of him when this happened. They had to see some kind of blood, if it was any, on the device, or the device is so advanced that it will conceal the victim's blood within. So it's no sign of that device being the killer weapon. And that's possible. But it's my opinion, the TPUSA had to know something because it's too crafty. The decoys, the sound coming out of the speakers is all plotted and put together. We in script, and that script needs the actors. None of this could have happened if you don't have the right actors in the right place, just as the decoys, like the old man and all this other shit. Let's listen to Lionel.
Martians did this? Let this sit in for a second. Let this marinate. The bullet doesn't match the weapon. Huh? You see this right here? You know what this is? This is hand soap. It doesn't match the weapon either because it wasn't used. And the case built around a narrative of a targeted killing, a 3-hour drive. All of a sudden, this man, he decides, I'm going to do this. By God, I'm going to stop what I'm doing because I've got to stop Charlie Kirk because.
And also another touche about the Charlie Kirk assassination is the alleged angle that Tyler Robinson used to shoot Charlie don't match the trajectory from where they say it don't match. It's too much of a high place. It would have not hit where it hit Charlie. It would have hit Charlie's face. Where it would have hit Charlie's jaw way before it hit the neck. I want people to understand that. I rest my case.
For whatever reason, a weapon that is tied to the suspect, a confession to his father, which, as Candace Owens has indicated and others, there's going to be no confession. Watch that be refuted. So forget that. All right, go ahead.
Even if he confessed, it has to be proven. If he confessed, he has to now tell us exactly how he did it. You can't just confess and not tell me nothing, just like in the BRYAN KOHBERGER case. Oh, yeah, he confessed. Really? If he confessed, why he plead innocent? Just please, 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 pretty please. If Tyler Robinson confessed to it, why will he go to court to say that he's innocent? Hold that thought.
Let's work with that one later. But that's gonna fall flat. But besides that, digital messages, which are weird to begin with, the planning, the intent, and everything lined up, everything presented as clean, direct, and overwhelming. This is what they want you to believe. That single detail cuts straight through the center of it, and it eviscerates the state's case. Because in any serious prosecution, especially a capital case, theoretically a capital case, especially one where the death penalty is on the table, theoretically, the chain of evidence is everything. The evidence is everything. The cause of death is everything. The ballistics are everything. Not part of it, not most of it, everything. Toda. ¿Me entiende? Now, the ballistics is not peripheral.
Te entiendo.
It is fundamental, critical, the gravamen. You were telling a jury that this man used this weapon to fire this bullet that killed this victim, right? Right? I mean, that's the spine of the case. This column. And if that connection weakens, even slightly, the entire structure collapses like a controlled demolition. It's like a building 7 collapse. Now, the defense is saying that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, and
Hey, by the way, big shout out to Lionel. He's the GOAT.
Explosive could not match the bullet recovered at autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Tyler Robinson. That is not a small discrepancy. That is not a footnote.
If it is invalid,
more commercials. But to watch the rest of it, the rest of it going to Lionel. Big shout out to Lionel. He's amazing. He's amazing in the way he talk about it, all the cases and everything that he talk about. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Lionel. He's amazing. What we gonna do to close today's live stream? Let me see. What we gonna do? I don't know if Amy's still here. What we gonna do to close today's live stream? I don't know. What you think we should do to close today's live stream? I don't know.
Sounds good.
Hello, hello, hello. Boots on the ground. JLR investigates. Come on in, come on in. Going back to Tucson. We got a lot of things going on, folks.
Tell me about it, JLR. Tell me about it, bro. You got so much shit going on right now, bro. Like, big shout out to Dorelli. I see you. Big shout out to Dorelli. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Dorelli. That was fast, right? That was fast. I was like, well, what we gonna do? Close the show with a bang. Big shout out. Quick chat about domestic. That might have do it. That there might have do it. So here we have JLR investigates. Still not arrested. He's free like a bird. He's out here ting-tangling, mingling, swingling, gambling. It seems the JLR is in some trouble. I don't know. He's word on the street that he sent a text message saying like, yo, what did you do? I'm in trouble. So I heard too. I don't know. Listen, these days in the YouTube streets is channels going away for a week. Is people getting lawsuits. It is the wrath of JLR. The wrath of the true crime god JLR. Amen. Listen, it's some people seeing JLR as a martyr right now. Like it's a lot of people saying that JLR don't deserve to go through this because he's trying to change. It's not fair that what he's trying to change and find love. he find one of these conniving true crime content creator just like himself, ambitious like him, has a lot in common because allegedly they both has a past. So misery likes company. He don't deserve this. The man is trying to change. Why you try to torture his image? Listen, I have not ever seen so many domestic violence offenders protesting against JLR. I swear. I swear it's the first time ever that I see so many domestic violence offenders protesting against JLR. I'm like, what? What? Domestic violence offenders protesting JLR. Please make that make sense. Just, just, just please make that make sense. How can domestic violence offenders with domestic violence allegations, some of them with domestic violence convictions, protesting JLR? Make that make sense. You have females that has a piece of shit reputation. Oh, we're gonna get to it. Brother, you think the DV call night of killing is significant? You see in the Idaho 4, yes. Yes. You wanna know why, Amy? Because if a 911 call of DV was made and was ignored, that could be because someone within the Moscow PD department knew or could have known what was about to happen. They could have got a heads up of what was about to happen before it happened because they're all in the same bullshit, right? Just saying, in my opinion. Dorothy said Magnolia isn't a perfect angel neither. I mean, think about it for a second. With all those JLR allegations of fraudster, no one but another, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but no one but another fraudster wants to be with someone that is confirmed that he has not just allegations but convictions of fraud. Is no female, is not one good female that I know, is not one good female that I know that would be with JLR with his reputation. Not even for clout, not even for YouTube shit, not for no motherfucking thing. And the only thing is, if someone on his level of indecency see the opportunity to utilize someone just as twisted as them for their own purposes, in this case, YouTube true crime clicks and likes, it's just like any other arranged relationship. Not okay, yes. Just in my opinion. Yes. Thank you, Amy. Listen, JLR has a reputation of many exes that are here in the YouTube true crime community telling all females how they believe he is. Allegedly, JLR is on disability. Allegedly. I don't know what's JLR disability. But to me, JLR don't look to me as he has any type of Social Security disability SSI. That's my opinion. In my opinion, JLR could also be defrauding the Social Security if he has any type of disability active right now that he might be getting paid by the disability of Social Security while not having a disability. It's a possibility. We don't know if this is true. We're not saying that that's what's happening. But in my opinion, we don't see JLR getting disability from the Social Security because we don't see no disability from him. So we could only assume that the only money that he gets is whatever he gets out of YouTube and out of the help of his parents or any other deals he could have with whoever else. You know what I'm saying? Money, I don't think JLR has money like that though. This is what I'm trying to say. I don't think JLR has money like that. Because we heard in a gangbang of the ex-girlfriends with the coach that they were talking about he having disability and food stamps. And that's the allegations of his exes. We're not saying this. It's the allegations of his exes in YouTube. But I don't think money it is. I think that it's more of the sickness of being with a YouTube true crime content creator that is going out to places where these crimes are occurring and show face. It's a lot of female content creators that want to be a Bullhorn Betty and be seen next to JLR that just came out on a Paramount documentary about the Idaho 4 BRYAN KOHBERGER case, that's where he got to the 100K. He had the majority of his subscribers out of the Paramount documentary that he came out with Bullhorn Berry and Chronicles of Olivia. That's how he got over across the 100K. It didn't have nothing to do with Magnolia. I just seen Magnolia's YouTube channel is fucking dead. So no, Magnolia don't have to do nothing with JLR getting where he is at this day today. And everybody has to recognize that. Magnolia is no shining star of true crime. And she also has allegations. We have to take that upon consideration. A mental disability. Because whatever allegations they were talking about, the borderline, is schizophrenia, or this and that. Listen, you could fake all that shit. Okay? And as long as you have the right doctor, you could fake all that shit. Okay? It's so big time charges. But you see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Is no charges against this, not even no probable cause to arrest this man. Listen, we could agree that he's pretty dumb, but smart at the same time. We could agree to disagree. I want everybody to understand is not one good female in YouTube true crime. They will be with JLR not for money, not for nothing. They will not be next to JLR with the allegations that he has and the convictions that he has. Ain't no one with the right mind is gonna be with JLR. The only reason that I believe Magnolia was with JLR is just because he's a big YouTube true crime content creator with a community that she could get something out of, because she's not a successful YouTube true crime content creator. She's not. And I believe that at some point JLR seen that about her. Now she wants him to put content on his channel that she developed. Then now we haven't 11, almost a year ago, we have T-Reps saying that Magnolia is communicating with him and letting him know how he feels for him while in a relationship with JLR. Is video and footage of T-Rep saying this. That Magnolia was declaring her love for him, and that she also was telling him what JLR was doing to her. As a grown-ass man, I know that a lot of females use that story for another male, in this case, another true crime content creator, to feel sorry for her. And that's her way to get on his pants, or that's her way to get him to talk about it, to then stain JLR's image little by little, utilizing another male YouTube true crime content creator to put out there the allegations that JLR is putting hands on her, but she's not reporting it to the authorities. Why? JLR is not a multimillionaire. JLR is just a YouTube true crime content creator with some kind of influence. That's it. And for you to stay with him, if that was the truth, you're sicker than him. Because if it's true that he's putting hands on you for this long, how the fuck you gonna stay with this man? It's your fault. It's your fault. If that's the truth. If that's the truth, then Magnolia stayed with him for this long while he was doing that to her. That's Magnolia's fault. And she did not call authorities about it. Then now her, as a YouTube true crime content creator, they're supposed to know how the legal shit goes. She tried to retroactively trying to make a report of JLR putting hands on her retroactively when the cops won't even pay attention to your story because you said that something happened last night and you didn't call no one? You can say that just because he took your phone, which we don't know if he paid that phone. If he paid that phone, that's his phone. Fuck what would you say if it was a gift? But obviously you had a phone, you have a phone to call 911 because obviously you said it yourself that you have his phone. So you have his phone and you didn't call 911 right away? We heard the people from the hotel calling 911, but I believe that was after you reported that to them. And then them as a hotel, because they got to worry about lawsuits and shit, they have to call 911 to report it. But they didn't heard, which they have rooms next door, and they have personnel, maintenance personnel, walking around the hotels at all time, 24/7, and security. They didn't hear nothing. They didn't hear nothing. No, JLR is not charged officially. He's not charged. He's no probable cause for an arrest. How they gonna charge him for something that she did not call right away when it happened? And then her story and his story don't match. Why Magnolia is gonna call so many times now 911 calls to accumulate 911 calls under her name as a YouTube true crime content creator? She know what she's doing. Instead of her calling the prison, instead of her calling the police department directly, because you already has a case number. You don't have an emergency. You have a case number. You call direct the police station. You don't call 911 because it's not an emergency. The only reason why they did not charge you for misuse of the 911, you know why, Miss Lady? Because they looking at you as a victim of domestic violence, still looking for help while you calling 911 that you are not supposed to call 911 because whatever the fuck you're talking about in the 911 fucking call is not a fucking emergency. It's something that you already handle. And if you have the right phone numbers to fucking call, you wouldn't be calling the 911 operator to talk this shit that you could have called direct to the police station. But you purposely accumulating 911 calls under your name because you know it's going to be true crime content creators. They're going to have 100,000 911 calls that don't have nothing to do with no domestic violence. It has to do with you calling 911 to talk about something that you already had going on with the police department. But you accumulating and oversaturating the FOIA requests on 911s under your name, but that don't mean that that's how many emergencies you have. You just keep calling 911, 911, 911 when you could call the police station. It's incredible to me that I heard so many 911 calls and Magnolia has not been arrested for the misuse of 911 calls. And here we see JLR that he's free to fly. If he owned anything to the law, if JLR investigates, owns anything to the law system, he would have got picked up at the airport. So no, is no charges pending, is no arrest coming, and this is only a civil intent. What she's doing, she accumulating and fabricating evidence to go to try to get him in the private sector via lawsuit. In the same way, when she called T-Rev to tell her about JLR putting hands on her, she was declaring her love for him. Well, at least that's what she made T-Rev to think. That she want to be with T-Rev because she's tired of the abuse of JLR. She's making T-Rev think that she want to be with him, but she's scared of JLR. So now here comes T-Rev putting the tea out there, the lies and the false tea out there, because he want to be with Magnolia. Which Magnolia could be using him way back then to give JLR a bad name by making T-Rev think that she want to be with him, but using T-Rev, another big content creator, to put a narrative on JLR that could be false, while at the same time cheating on JLR 11 months ago over the phone with T-Rev, because that's cheating. When you have a boyfriend and you out here on the phone, not just telling your love for another man, but talking shit about your man to another man, lady, you are cheating to your man. So that means equal as Magnolia was cheating on JLR long way before any other shit she could talk about. So she exposed herself. Again, the situation happened and no one in the hotel heard about it until you came out with it. It's not one phone call of the hotel when it happened. Because if this situation would have actually occurred, as big as her injuries are, it would be a major commotion and Magnolia crying and screaming for help, which someone in the hotel wouldn't know about it when it happened. No, she went to sleep. Magnolia went to sleep. And she couldn't sleep, being beat the fuck up. Oh, she fell asleep, no problem. Do anyone see anything wrong with this? Because yeah, I understand everybody could feel how they feel about JLR. I totally understand how you could feel about JLR on your personal. But at the same time, that don't mean the JLR committed this crime. As a matter of fact, it's no crime to commit. This man
decided to board up onto a plane. We're going to keep Nancy Guthrie's name out there. We are on a mission. Come on in, folks. I'm at the airport right now and setting up shop.
JLR is going to work. Meanwhile, everybody's talking about everything that they're talking about him. The man is going back to work. Ain't no one see a problem with that? He's free to board an airplane, travel, and go and do his job. We could see Magnolia's story as not accurate, in my opinion. We could see Magnolia's story as not accurate. We could see the story of the exes, the gang bang of the exes coming to YouTube True Crime to talk about JLR as bullshit too. Because at the end of the day, you was with this man. And whatever did or didn't do to you, you was there with him as well. So if he didn't work with the man, because whatever reason, why you here spilling the tea that doesn't have nothing to do with Magnolia and him? You're spilling your tea. You defaming this man on shit that only you know. No one else knows the truth. I don't see you saying, yeah, I got witnesses for this. Dorian, I said, that's messed up of Magnolia. So wrong, not even right at all. And I agree with you because, again, it's our own opinion. The story that she's bringing to trying to validate and you to true crime, only females just like her will validate. Females like Wells of all trades will validate. Again, we said it here very clear. If this is truth and Magnolia went through whatever she went through, he deserved the worst of the worst, and he deserved everything that is coming to him, and everything in the book should be thrown at him. But the story that right now is out there, put from many places, the more people that come hating on JLR, the more innocent he looks. I'm telling y'all right now, my name is Jrod on point. I know what I'm telling you. The more people come out of the work to hate on him, like, I understand that y'all don't like him. But y'all cannot use his past against him. You cannot use JLR's past against him. JLR could have whatever he has on his name, but word in the street is that JLR is a pussy. Word on this, I'm not saying he's a pussy, but his word in the street and in content in YouTube that he many and multiple people that allegedly knows JLR consider JLR as a coward. The JLR don't have fighting him. The JLR wouldn't fight a man, most likely was not fighting a female. Everybody that I have heard that he comes against him cannot say one instant of JLR being violent or losing his shit. Not one person, not even Bullhorn Betty. That should tell you a lot. That also should tell you that JLR don't have no criminal convictions on anything violent. You know, if people want to talk about y'all so good and YouTube true crime, The really say I personally don't have nothing bad to say about JLR. Good stuff. Someone said Constitution is believe the charges incredible dumb. Yeah, let's put it like this. Is no probable cause for an arrest, and there's no charges coming out of that. They might review it in court and have no findings and gone. Then now she's gonna try to have a lawsuit. And then for her to do that and get any money out of JLR, she better have a good case. Because again, she don't have a good case to press charges criminally. Because you said that whatever happened to you, my nose is broken, I have a black eye, and all these other stuff. Listen, man, I'm sorry to tell you, you could do that to yourself. And these people out there crazy enough that they'll do that to themselves. I have met people that they'll do that to themselves. I have known people that they will lie on a domestic violence allegation. And due to that, I have known people that will lie on someone to press charges on them to take them out of commission because they got a discrepancy in the relationship, especially if the relationship breaks up. And if in a breakup is not a medical is not amicable, that is not a dissolution of relationship and is pleasant or fair or pleasant. We know that 9 times out of 10 in a breakup of a relationship for whatever reasons, sometimes it's gonna be 9 times out of 10 the person that is the abuser. If it's a female, and if the female is the abuser, for her to not look at such in YouTube true crime and be like, oh, now he gonna expose me. Oh, guess what? I'll be cooking something for you since way back then with T-Rev and other true crime content creators that behind your back, JLR, I've been telling them what you allegedly been doing to me for a long time. In case this day come, I already have your reputation in my hand. You know what? Some females in YouTube true crime, I believe that they have the capabilities to try to extort. I'm not saying that this is what was happening, but I believe that it could be a level of extortion from Magnolia. And I believe the JLR was like, well, say what the fuck you gonna say. Fuck you. And he left. And she went crazy. In my opinion, that could have happened. I believe that way before that. I believe the JLR put hands on her. Because I don't see JLR. I have never, and listen, I have met killers. I have met people that have beat women. I have met domestic violence people. I see their demeanor. I see how they play. I don't see that on JLR. I do not see JLR as a domestic violence perpetrator. I don't. I know there's a lot of females out there in the YouTube true crime community that might believe so, because whatever another female said. But if you don't see the oversaturation of the 911 system for 4 years, that's all what it was, 4 years. Multiple 911 calls that don't have nothing to do with any type of situation, but it's something to do with her trying to create record. JLR seems soft. Listen, y'all could call JLR whatever y'all could wanna call him. Listen, I didn't agree with JLR on the Idaho 4. I believe that he's fishy and he's slimy. I believe that his opinion is painful. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. I believe that he'll say, well, whoever paid for, like I and at the end of the day, me not agreeing with him on criminal cases don't mean that I'm gonna hear this about him and I'm gonna hear the story that they presenting about him, and it'll make sense to me just because I disagree with the guy and I don't see the guy as a stand-up guy or whatever my personal feelings, as far as how I see him as another grown-ass man performing in YouTube true crime. Pause, no diddy, no doubt. Me as a YouTube true crime content creator, I have to listen to the information and I need to see everything. And so far, I have seen it all. I have seen what she tried to put on record and what is being said out there about from the exes. None of that other stuff is relevant at all. It's no case against JLR. What's going to happen here, there is going to be a whole bunch of YouTube true crime content creators that believe that JLR cannot sue. But if he could pay the fee and he have legit reasons to do so, and the judge see fit, the lawsuit will proceed. It don't matter how many times he has. If he could pay the fee, he will sue whoever he want to sue. But what I see is a whole bunch of YouTube true crime content creators try to come up out of JLR, try to stain his image, and I see them getting major lawsuits, probably channels deleted and erased forever. Probably we're gonna have a lot of YouTube true crime content creators starting from scratch. I see this going away. I don't see JLR getting arrested. I don't even see JLR getting a lawsuit for this. Again, that's my fair opinion. I disagree with JLR about the true crime cases. I heard about his past and everything that is out there in the internet against the guy. But even with all that, I cannot say this man did it. Not with black eyes, not with pictures, not with that. If that would have happened, like Magnolia said that it happened, the hotel personnel would have called 911 ASAP. They don't play with that. Because lawsuits, and they liable if they don't report it. If Magnolia would be like, oh, he beat me up, I asked for help and no one called 911 because I didn't have no phone call to call, and the hotel could get a major lawsuit. So they have to be aware of that. As soon as they heard from her. What happened the night before, they had to call 911 and report it. And that's what I heard. Do you think if this would really happen, the hotel wouldn't call right away just to save their ass? That tells me that nothing happened that night. That tells me that they probably argued, they broke up, and then she just put her plan in place. That's just my opinion. But everything that she's putting out there, everybody else buying for her, cheerleading for her, and just talking bad about this man and this and this and that. Listen, this is how people trying to change go back to fucking drugs and go back to fuckery. Especially if he really trying to change and become a better man and do his true crime stories and travel and live his dream and not have to scam people no more. Because now he making money out of YouTube and whatever else he gets. And he changed his life for a better way. And then try to meet a woman, probably have a family someday or something like that, and broke up with her, and now she try to like destroy everything that I built. I see it happening. I see it happening. And it wouldn't be the first, and it wouldn't be the last. You're gonna see more domestic violence perpetrators protesting JLR to wash their sins, to try to make people believe, oh, I have to change, I have to change. Oh, big shout out, Dorelli. It was so nice chatting with you, Jrod. Hey, it's been a long time. Yeah, blessed night, Blake. Blessed night. Thank you for coming. But I've seen it happen like many times. Females try to take down a man just because the man don't want to bow for whatever they want to do. And as soon as their plan don't become your plan, all hell could break loose. But I'm very happy to be back in the big channel. We have a couple of hours here in the Idaho. Thank you so much, Amy Conway and Dorelli, for keeping me company. We covered three cases today. The Idaho 4, we covered Charlie Kirk, and we covered all JLR investigates allegations. I'm very happy with the results today. Hopefully everybody that watch on replay, please make sure to click like, subscribe, and share the content. And I think I'm gonna have more of these ones. I like this format. Just turn on the camera and come and talk to you, hang out and kick it. I like it like that. As always, your favorite brother, your mother's favorite son, the black sheep, the T to the Tango, the G to the Django. I am him. Listen, believe in yourself because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're gonna take the best decisions in your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Love yourself and take care of yourself so you'll be able to love and take care of others. And as always, I'm gonna leave you with my favorite song. Your favorite song. You so sexy. Thank you, Amy Conway. Thank you, everybody that was here. Make sure you hit the Cash App. Give me some love. Give me some love. Give me some love. Yeah.